The team wanted the first lap that he went to sleep last night here, just a stone's throw away from this Mazzano tip. Bright yellow, one-off Valentino Rossi tribute livery. He was started third. He's seventh at the end of the Kagami. It was also a really good start for Marquez. Let's not forget his World Championship battle. It's gone A-OK so far, though. Plan A executed perfectly.
Those two have got a bit of history, haven't they, as well?
Just a bit.
Once more. Meanwhile, out front, these three are already breaking away as Marquez looks to...
We were convinced that they were going to go for the mediums. They've gone hard on the front with bagnaia and Miller. Marquez.
Two factory Ducatis, 1 and 2. The two factory
Mir's got a jump start. Steve lap penalty. 2 crashes yesterday afternoon, including a big one in Q1. That left him 18th on the grid. He's jumped the start.
And
Petrucci
on his birthday. And yeah, Mir looks like is responsible for that incident. So he's not going to...
That's not the first time this season Juan Mir's been involved in some skirmishes. In Italy he was hoping for. Down and out early on here at turn 2. Wingman here, it's going to be tough work to keep Marquez behind you for 24 and a bit laps here. There on the gas from Pecco bagnaia. That squeezes that top 3 together even more. To exercise caution and common sense in this position, he will not fire it up the inside.
He's got his hands full with Marquez. Marquez perhaps...
to, of course, match the Ducatis, and then with that sort of 5 or 6 bike lengths bagnaia is able to take, then it's really as well.
Some pressure that Pecco bagnaia can really do without, isn't it? He really, as you said, could have done with Miller hanging on. It's been there before. So here we go then into the final sector. By the way, just a quick word on 4/10 clear of Quartararo. There he is, the number 20. There's 20 laps still to go.
Here long. He's had the brains as well as the speed, hasn't he, so far? Damage. If bagnaia does take the victory, and that's not a foregone conclusion, with 20 laps to go, and as Trins and Jorge Martin, Luca Marini's down into the low 133s as well, with an excellent tough weekend so far for Laser Squad. On the factory, there was Marquez wide, wasn't he, going through full strength back in that right arm and right shoulder, as Rins picks the pocket of Jorge Martin into turn.
Just wants to make sure each move is clean. The last thing he wants to do is getting involved in...
Got 1 hand and 4 fingers on the biggest prize in global motorcycle racing, but at the moment, thankfully for Fabio Quattro staying around 6 or 7 tenths further back, Ducati really need some favours here from
the hard front, medium rear for Pecco bagnaia, the medium front, soft rear for Marquez in second.
How many times have we seen this down the years? Marc Marquez versus a factory Enzo in particular, of course. Who could forget the memorable tussles with Andrea Dovizioso? And now she'll be able to hear that Repsol Honda Marc Marquez all over his rear tyre.
Quartararo's moved up.
Can he make, though? Because he's 6 tenths behind Rins, who is fallen 1 point now. Who's gone down? It's not Fabio Quartararo.
Sure,
find out who's tumbling down the tower.
It's Taka Nakagami has crashed again. It's sector 4 for Nakagami.
Points and prize at stake when Taka Nakagami's got to get his head in the right place. It's another fall down for the Idemitsu 32.819. That was a couple of tenths quicker than Quattro on the previous lap. That gap between the crowd and the fastest turn on the circuit. You can see the fans there on the left coming up to Cavoni now. Being back to his brilliant best. Here 5 weeks ago, he was over 10 seconds behind. Bullish, of course, and buoyant after his brilliance in Austin. But now, championship points from the home crowd favourite bagnaia.
Is he going to line up a move into turn? Marquez has stopped with a technical issue. What a disaster for them. Fabio Quartararo still like 3 tenths behind Alex Rins. Here's Luca Marini. He's in 7th at the moment, just behind
about 6 tenths clear of his teammate Andrea Dovizioso. A couple of seconds. All the points in his swan song on Italian soil.
No flags at sector 1. Leccaona has just...
Of some excellent performances in the rain conditions yesterday. Had an instantly forgettable day. A jump start for Mir after 2 crashes yesterday. He was facing a long lap penalty. And he's involved
4th, lapping similar pace.
Espargaro's taking full advantage. Being in the top 6, first 2 rows here in Mazzano, absolutely crucial. Such a tight first sector from the podium. So this performance so far, he set this up in that tricky Q2 yesterday.
The podium as well.
Do you remember yesterday, Simon Crayford, good interview as always with Alberto Puig, Repsol on the team man. They said had it been dry, they were quite confident of a strong weekend from Pol Espargaro. A pretty accurate assessment in the full dry conditions, still in 3rd place, still 7 tenths clear of Miguel Rivera. 3 laps in Aragon for Pecco bagnaia to keep Marc Marquez at bay. 7-time mission here from the number 93. He would love nothing more.
Quite a bit quicker than the 2 in front of him. It might get better yet for him ahead of Frankie Morbidelli. Sector 1, yellow flags. It's not Quartararo.
Looks like it's another big one. He doesn't do small crashes, does he, Jorge Martin? Horror high-speed crash he had in FP3 in Portimao, 8 fracturally.
Fabio Quartararo is quicker than all
Quartararo, who came so close to reeling in and beating Pecco Bagnaia. The gap at the front between Bagnaia and Marc
through to 9th as Rins lunges up the inside of Luca.
15th to 5th. That would represent a fantastic Sunday afternoon's work for Fabio.
The Bucks clever here and just pick them off one by one, make some clean moves.
Well, he knows here 5 weeks need for him to take any unnecessary risk here.
Joran Zarco is just behind. Actually, need to be cursing what's happened so far this weekend. Of course,
the grip early on, just managed his tyres, kept himself to a steady, comfortable pace.
Yara at the moment is holding up his end of the bargain, that's for sure. You have to give him enormous credit.
Yeah, it's been superb. Got to be, I mean, it's a pressure cooker atmosphere, straight back on through, but imagine that scenario in this pressure situation as it is. Pecco Bagnaia just seeing repeatedly +0, 93 in Aragon, and he's resisting it quite magnificently at the moment. Into turn 2.
Yeah, that's really helped out. Alongside Franco Morbidelli, I don't think he's going to fight back on that one. He gave him more than enough room into turn 4.
19, Brad Binder's day gets worse. Crashing on the sighting lap, he's now repeatedly exceeded track limits. He's got
an 8. Fabio Quartararo does go through. Binder has got up to 12 from the back of the grid as well.
But he'd be delighted now to be on the brink of the top 6 at this stage of the race. There are still recovering left knee. It's an excellent weekend so far, but don't be fooled, Frankie.
Here's a replay of the start then for Fabio Quartararo. Didn't get off to the greatest of starts, and then got a bit bold there.
Legal start, and at that point, Mia didn't realise, but he might have realised there was a double along lap penalty coming as Taro immediately and got through on Marini, and Morbidelli's able to gap that pair back at the front, and again, personal best laps for him. Down to a 1:32.391, but not a second between the pair as we start lap 16.
Yeah, as it stands, the gap would come down from 52. That would do for Pecco Bagnaia. That's all he can do at this moment. But Quartararo is eyeing up a move here on Rins, and maybe what happened to Jorge Martin. Let's have a look now. That went down early, didn't it? Front end washout for Martin. Did he get his leg caught underneath it? He's now got to 3/10 of a second lead over Marc Marquez.
We've been waxing lyrical for so much on the line, and with all the pressure being thrown out in the game by premature end, as we saw in quite painful fashion, the big launch
just to stay with Pecco Bagnaia, and he just does not buckle under the pressure right now. This is the new
32 lap, 3/10 quicker than Rins, half a second quicker than the latest for his personal best lap of the race. But you can see the drive, the acceleration grip that the Ducati gets.
Guys, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I think there's a side straight because the front is off the ground, then you can't stay.
That is Pecco Bagnaia.
Yeah, that was a decisive lap, Bagnaia for the race. But Marc Marquez doing everything he can to cling on to this Grand Prix as Pecco Bagnaia, just like he did here in Misano 1, just like...
Yeah, it just looks like he could put that bike anywhere around here. He knows this circuit like the back of his hand. He's done thousands of laps.
All he could do. Pole position on Saturday, and then win the race, and then see what happens, see what great result for Quartararo from a clearly season worst 15th place. And Frankie Morbidelli's really struggling. He's got a long lead.
Qualified in 16th. He really is putting in some material of what happens now. It's all over, and I think they're just making sure of their maths now. It was all going so well. He just made the break as well.
Oh,
on Marquez.
He went early. He just started tipping in, and there it is. Davide Tardozzi collapses onto his knee. World champions, the Monster Energy Yamaha team.
There's more drama.
Fabio Quartararo started in 15th place, and they are back.
I think that front tyre, obviously, with Jack's crash, they're the only two guys to run the hard front. I think that at the start of the race with that breeze to, I need my jacket, it's not here. I really think that's what's got Pecco at the end.
Brilliantly up to that point. Of course, what this means, Marc Marquez is on course for his first back-to-back victories. In 2015, they could even remarkably win the Triple Crown.
Of Sumi-san, they've been through it. They were. And can you believe we're looking at a Repsol Honda 1-2 as well? Marc Marquez did put some early pressure.
Incredibly, has not had to make an overtake on the two Ducatis to get in this position. He was there, blows it in the most surprise circumstances. He looks so cool, so calm and collected. But in Rossi's backyard, in Ducati's backyard, this will take sweet for Marc Marquez.
So here is Pecco Bagnaia. The chances squandered
having the brilliant win for pole position here in Misano one, but it has been really unfortunate for him as well. That's the second time in Italy the DNFs on Italian soil have been decisive in the final reckoning. He's consoled by seasonal final lap. Will it be celebrations from the podium because Enea Bastianini
Hold off Enea Bastianini on this last lap and get on the podium to celebrate as the new world.
as the next big star years ago? Everybody was saying he was the new Valentino Rossi, the next Marquez, his early career. Quartararo, they've got it all on here to hang on to a podium. Enea Bastianini's going all in for third place.
He's going to have a look into turn. Going to peel to the inside. Here he comes. He sets up the new world champion. The disappointment and dejection of 2020, where it all went wrong. He's got Alberto Puig.
He's having a few hugs. I'm about to have him. Alberto, yes, Pecco fella. What a ride from
They keep the pressure, and you know these things happen in racing. We can only talk about our riders today. We are very great riders.
Big congratulations.
Yeah, huge Ducati sporting director heading down to congratulate Yamaha, and historic